Yo, what is good, world? It is your boy, Calvin Leroy King, the third. And as always, I have my lovely co-host with the most by my side, Miss Reese Peasy, the one and only.
Hey, y'all.
And we thank y'all for tuning in and turning up for another dope episode of This, That, and the Third, the lifestyle show that gives you life. Literally. Now, we're going to begin the show in the best fashion that we know how, and that's by shouting out our sponsors. And this month, the month of May, Mayo, our sponsor is none other than Absolute Athletics, also known as A Square. Now, this is a up-and-coming and well-established even co-ed flag football league here on Chicago's South Side, run by none other than Joe Herring. So shout out to A Squared, and be sure to catch them on Facebook, YouTube,
Instagram,
and all other social media platforms under Absolute Athletics or A Squared. What up, y'all?
Salute.
Salute. So we're going to begin the show in the best fashion we know how by starting off with our weekend review and our weekend preview. And as always, customary here on This and the Third, ladies first. What you got, Reese? How was your weekend or how was your week?
My weekend was good.
What'd you do? Do you remember? Can you recall? This was the last weekend in April?
Yeah, well, Sunday I did the El Woo show.
Ah, yeah. Shout out El Woo, baby sis.
Hey. And Saturday we had basketball games, basketball camp. Oh, they had a sleepover. That's what it was.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
How was the
boys had a
sleepover? Because I know
sleepover.
we don't specialize in those things.
No, they went over.
Oh, they were away for a sleepover.
Yes,
All right,
it
well,
was nice.
congratulations.
So it was the little boy's cousin.
Okay.
And I went over there, to see the house or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
and to sit and hang out. And I like the boy's parents and her
Right.
family, and I met them before, so it was cool. I felt comfortable.
So what happens in the event that Mom Dukes pulls up to a suggested friend's house for a sleepover and doesn't pass the site inspection? How do you break the news to the parent and or your child that this sleepover is not happening? Bed bugs.
Oh.
How do you do that? Or do you just let them go and suffer?
No, you say, well, I'm going to let y'all stay. Well, I don't know. You
What do
can
you
do it
do?
one or two ways. You can say, something came up. Mm-hmm. So
That's very vague.
I'll let you guys hang out for a little bit. I'll go
gotta
run
come
some
get
errands,
you.
but I got to come get you because we have something in the morning.
Something in the morning.
Right.
Okay.
Don't go into detail.
Oh, no.
None of that.
My
But-
business is my business.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think that's the way so that the kids aren't too mad,
Right.
and then you're not necessarily offending
Right.
them. But I was glad that everything was cool, and I felt safe. Although, when I left, I called. She didn't answer.
House phone?
Her cell phone.
Oh, even worse.
I knew her screen was cracked, and I get it when you get with the kids. You're not
Yeah,
always
yeah.
sitting by your phone. And then that night, the thoughts start wondering.
Also, she didn't call back either. Where are my kids?
No, and then that was like the first moment I was like, the boys need a phone.
Oh, no. It's time.
Just so that when they go,
In case of
they can have a
emergency.
phone because I want to be able to call them directly.
Right.
Even when they with their dad, I can call their iPad.
Right.
But if I can't get that, I can call their dad. So
clear.
it was just that little moment. I was
Yeah.
like, maybe when they go away on the weekends,
Right.
pick up your phone.
Right. So how did it end, though? She ended up calling back?
Well, the
or-
next morning, she called me.
Oh, so you had to go the whole night without knowing.
Yeah, well, I didn't let that
Deter your
take
night.
over my mind.
Oh, yeah. She said, it was a passing moment. I'm sure they're all right. Matter of fact, if the phone rings, that means trouble.
No, I mean, because she let her son come over to my house.
Okay.
And that was his first time away. So if she trusted me with
yeah,
her
yeah. She
kid, I
gets
was
it.
kind
She
of
gets
like,
it.
okay, I'm sure ain't nothing wrong. And then the next day she called me. She said Noah was the first one up.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And so to me, that was like, okay,
He's waking
in
others
an
up.
unfamiliar place. And he like, let me get up. What's going on?
Yeah,
what time?
wait,
Yeah.
Are we
So-
friends? I don't remember you. Oh, I know you now.
So yeah, that was my weekend. That was cool. It's nice.
Okay. Anything you looking forward to this upcoming weekend, or are you chilling?
Nah, tomorrow we have the Common Ground
We do
event.
have the Common Ground event. Shout out to the
Columbia
Creative
College.
Cipher. Shout
Yep.
out to Donda's house. Shout out to Common Ground Foundation. Everybody doing big things in the
He's
city.
gonna be here. Well,
Common's here.
he was at an event last night, but I guess he's performing at a concert tomorrow, and his DJ is getting booked at some club.
Okay. Well, congratulations, nigga.
Yeah.
No disrespect. Niggas means king. If you look up the origin, Negus. Niggas. Okay. In terms of my past week, man, let's start with the weekend because I had to go out of town.
You were visiting Chocolate City.
Chocolate City. Now, did you know that a lot of people don't know what Chocolate City is? And let me take that back. One person I spoke with did not know what Chocolate City was.
Were they black?
They were melanin. Melanin? What's that how you say it?
Yeah.
Milani? I don't know.
Yeah.
That. And had no idea, had never seen Thin Line Between Love and Hate, did not know that DC is indeed Chocolate City.
Is that where it came from, Thin Line?
It's not, didn't come from there, but they highlighted it, and the club in Thin Line was called Chocolate City, and it took place in DC. It was just kind of like a piece of the culture. Yeah. So I was surprised by that. And then it was just, just an exciting time because, me, I'm more of a local dude. I mean, just not in terms of the impact, but just in terms of, I just like my bed. I just like I like my community. You know what I'm saying? I work in my community. I get my dry cleaning in my community. I eat in my community. I live in my community. I like my radius. And I was like, man, fuck it, wheels up. And went to Broccoli City Fest and had a ball. Had a ball in
You know what?
DC.
You didn't post any videos of the festival. Did you go to the festival?
I was at the festival. I took videos of only Cardi. I only took videos of Cardi, and it wasn't quality enough for me to be posting. I was not that upfront there. We've talked about this.
Good.
We talked about this, and I listen when Reese talks.
Okay.
So, I was there, and it was more so, nigga, if you're not here,
you're not here.
You're not here. But when I tell you, G, so I get there Thursday night, we kick it on some tour of the city, did the whole thing, went to this place in the W called POV that has like the most amazing view of the city for what it's worth. You're coming from Chicago, you're kind of like, I'm not impressed, but nevertheless, it is what it is. And then Friday, we got to catch the game 6 of the Wizards and the Raptors. So I actually went to, see John Wall and the guys play. That was cool. Got to get up with my cousins, went to 2 or 3, maybe 4 parties that night. And then Saturday came, and that was the festival. Started off with a cool little brunch. Shout out my man Parquet, a.k.a. Bobby Butter, who was just the tour guide for the weekend. And we hooked up with his friends, did the little brunch thing, and then went straight over to, I guess, the old stadium where, the festival was taking place in the parking lot. Went over there.
Oh, it was outside?
It was outside.
In the parking lot of the
stadium. The parking lot of like the old stadium. So I guess the Redskins used to play there, but now it's a soccer team plays there. And man, it was everything. Cause me, I love the city and I love when Grits and Biscuits comes to town. You know what I'm saying? And it was here this weekend. And that was the one thing that's like when you think of the college parties, the juke, I can dance on every single female in that joint and she's not going to be bothered by it. It's that type of party for grown people.
Grits and Biscuits?
Grits and Biscuits. And the tours internationally, they signed with Rock Nation, Live Nation. Okay. This is a dope little traveling party. And you're going to get some of that back that ass up. You're going to get all that stuff we grew up on. So nevertheless, I was kind of blue just because I knew they were going to be at HOB and I was going to be out of town. And I didn't know what out of town it consisted of. Nigga, why did Grits and Biscuits also participate in the Broccoli City Fest?
Oh, so they had something going on here and there at the same time?
That's how big it is. So they have multiple stages at these festivals. They had a Grits and Biscuits segment, and I jacked up at least 17 young ladies that I don't know their names or faces. But I had a good time. Then Cardi, then Migos, Miguel. Killed it. I like Miguel. Killed it. I wasn't up on this dude, Caesar. Daniel Caesar. Every female loves him. I never knew about this dude.
What's the song?
I don't
If
know.
you listen to Pandora, they've been playing his music for a long time.
Okay, so he's on.
And I saw him on Deuces and Mero.
I was not woke.
He's from Drake's spot.
Oh, so he out from Toronto. Man, all in all, three fingers, man. I'm giving it 3 out of 3. Broccoli City Fest, and it's for a good cause too. I don't know what the cause is, but it's something good. It's something good. I thought it was a weed type thing, Broccoli Fest.
That's what I thought.
Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, unofficially maybe. But that was my weekend, and my week end this time is, King Kids all day. Callie baby birthday just passed. Mook's is coming up, so we just kind of in between birthdays right now. Callie is April 11th, and Mook is Callie is April 19th, and Mook is May 16th. He's about to be 12. He's a Taurus?
Yeah.
Okay, well, shout out to us.
That explains their relationship.
Okay, well.
The ram and the bull. My mom's an Aries, my dad's a Taurus.
Oh, so they get along how Mook and Callie don't get along. That's about it, man. But you ready to get into some new news for all these new news?
Yes.
So what's topping off our news headlines this week?
Starbucks settles.
Oh, Starbuckington. Are we still protesting? Or is it cool now?
I haven't had a refresher
Oh,
since the incident.
oh, she's going through withdrawals. Are you
really
good?
am.
Are you good?
The other day, was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. I wanted one so bad. And I just went home and had some lemonade and, you know.
Did it do what it needed to do for
Yeah,
you?
because it was frozen and it was that slush in it. Yeah, so
Ain't nothing wrong with
it
some
worked.
slushy lemonade.
It
I
worked.
love them shits.
But yeah, so Starbucks is settled with Rashawn Nelson and Dante Robinson were the two men who were arrested in Starbucks. What they settled for with Starbucks is undisclosed. But they settled with the city of Philadelphia for $1 each.
Wait. Now, taking the money out of it, what the fuck does the city of Philadelphia have to do with it?
So I think they not only sued Starbucks, but sued the city.
Kind of like the police.
Yeah.
I sued the police who are part of the city.
Yeah.
I'm clear, I think.
Yeah, kind of, because they really don't provide an explanation or information as to how that part
Came about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But $2, like,
It's two of y'all. So y'all get $1 each?
they get $1 each.
Okay.
But they had like details in the agreement, and supposedly they're going to set up a fund for entrepreneurs with $200,000. So that was agreed upon. So I don't know if they settled for that dollar amount to put money towards this program,
Right.
because they were at the Starbucks to meet their friend
Right.
to start a business that they had an idea
Okay.
about or whatever, or to work on the idea.
Right.
So they are entrepreneurs, and I get the initiative, and I think that's great, but
Right. So the amount that's promised
it's $200,000.
is $200,000, and who's going to manage this $200,000? Because that's my thing. Like,
don't know.
it sounds like both of these niggas got $100,001.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Because now you're an angel investor in my endeavor and my man's endeavor. And if we choose to do those things together, so be it. And if not, that's a good seed.
That's
good
probably
seed
how
money
they could have wrote it out.
for next game.
Because
and
they
it's not
didn't-
going against your taxes.
And they didn't, they didn't give a lot of details.
Yeah, I wouldn't
but
either.
when you see they settle for $2, it's shocking. So everybody has been responding and commenting about it. But I'm like, they can't be that silly. So yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, and we talked earlier about how these are educated brothers. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it's calculated. I'm sure that a lot of resources came available to them when they got all this exposure and awareness was brought to the situation. And I'm even willing to bet that beyond the 200K, let's just say it is going to
This
a
fund,
program,
yeah.
right? More people are going to
Okay.
give to that because of the way they handle the situation, because the attention they're getting from the situation.
That's
So
what I
all
think.
in all, I think it's a win. I mean, it's at least close a fifth of a quarter, not $250,000, but a fifth of $1 million.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'll take it.
And we don't know how much they got from Starbucks.
And you don't know how much they got from Starbucks. And Starbucks was the first ones to racial sensitivity train their people, so they're trying to definitely make amends. And the fact that it's undisclosed lets
They
you
got
know
it.
it's
so
a bag.
They better have a bag.
It's a bag. It's 2 bags.
Mm.
Okay. What else going on in what's going on with the EPA, man? What is the EPA? I don't even know that acronym.
So I should have got the definition for you.
Environmental Protection Agency?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that's the only EPA I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this what you were talking about? Like, what does this have to do
Yeah,
with
I'm
anything?
so sleep on ducks and geese.
No, so Scott Pruitt is now over the EPA,
Okay.
and all his goals basically were to roll back all the regulations that Obama set in place.
Wait, so Scott Pruitt is a Republican?
Yeah,
And
he's
do
one
we
of Trump's friends.
Okay, one of Trump. I'm like, how do we know him?
He's a Trumpet.
Trumpet.
And so basically, he probably faced his 2 congressional hearings last week because of all the rollbacks and all the things that he's becoming a liability. And like, it's becoming a problem. So let me read to you everything that he's done.
Okay.
He suspended the Clean Water Rule. He started repealing the Clean Power Plan and pushed to leave the Paris Climate Agreement, which when the French president was here, when he addressed Congress, that was one of the things he said.
Main concern.
Like, don't leave this program. Obama put this in place.
Right.
This is for us. This is, we all agree upon this.
Right.
They weren't trying to hear that.
Okay.
So many of these things that he's rolled back, they end up in court, but it just slows the process down.
Yeah, and I
Okay?
think sometimes that's the objective.
That is.
Ugh.
This year he
Politics as usual.
This year he asked for $2.5 billion less.
You said B?
billion
Billion?
less, $2.5 billion less to cover the budget in 2019. So he clearly has no intention on doing any of the stuff.
Wait, is this nigga in charge of the EPA?
Yes.
And he's saying we need $2.5 billion less to do what we've been doing and more.
Yes.
Nigga, what?
Because he's cutting things. And so to put this in perspective so you can understand how this affects you, he wants to get rid of programs that clean up the Great Lakes and
We have one of
expose
those.
kids to lead.
He wants to cut programs.
He wants to cut those
That
programs.
clean up the Great Lakes, including Michigan
Yeah.
and Erie
Yeah.
and Huron.
The lakes y'all
and
swim in.
Superior and Ontario.
Lakes you boat in. He wants to cut that.
And what else for children?
And cut the program that stops the exposure of the lead to children.
Now, nigga, you know we don't play with kids on this, that, and the third.
Yeah. He's also trying to limit restrictions and stuff with your cleaning products, your food, like everything.
I don't like them. I don't know why. I just don't.
It's not good. And this was on Vice News, so obviously I know a lot of people don't know about it.
Y'all sleep.
Because they haven't talked about it on 5, 2,
It's not getting
7.
coverage. It's not getting coverage.
So I just thought this was interesting. You know, when he said cleaning products, food, the lakes, the water, the environment, it's just all bad.
And that was my question. Like, how is this going to impact the price of the Harold's 4-piece? Is it going to hit home for those that are listening? I'm sorry. But, you know, I just want to know, make it real. But when you say the exposure that young people will have to lead, like, wasn't that a big thing when we was growing up with paint?
Yeah,
like,
well,
man,
it's still a thing in
lead,
Flint.
paint, huh?
It's still a thing in
Flint?
Matter
Yeah.
of fact, it's still a thing here. I just saw an article about the pipes and stuff in the city being old and the possible exposure to lead.
Right.
The pipes here.
Now, you want to know something interesting? When I was out in D.C. this weekend, I actually spoke with somebody that was from Flint. And, you know, my first question is, how's the water? And they were just like, man, don't believe everything you hear. Just like people say Chicago is all the way fucked up on the violent shit, Flint is not as bad as it seems. Now, it's bad where it's bad, but don't
Pigeonhole it.
Yeah, don't pigeonhole it. Don't soundbite it like Flint is just all bad.
Because what they showed was like, let's say Cabrini Green. Like they showed that.
Right, we're gonna
And
highlight
we
that.
think
It's like
that's Flint. And I mean, really, I do think.
I
that's
kind of
Flint.
still think it's Flint. Yeah. Until you prove otherwise, what else is it? Goddamn.
I need to see more parts of the city.
You got bad water and you got stones.
But so y'all just pay attention to anything that Scott Pruitt is doing because he is in charge of the EPA.
Okay. So what else we got going on with banned abortions?
So look, this was on Vice last night.
Hey, Vice.
Seriously. Iowa has banned abortions. So the bill started with just banning the fetal tissue, the selling of fetal tissue.
Right.
And they tacked on banning abortions once the heartbeat starts.
Once the heartbeat starts in the, what is that, the
In the-
embryo stage, the fetus, like where are we at in the process? First trimester?
You still in the first trimester.
Damn.
And that's between 6 and 8 weeks. So it's
Oh, you don't have a lot of time, ladies.
No, you don't.
Make haste, bitches. Y'all need to get somewhere and get checked out.
No, that's why this is why I mentioned this because it's so soon. Most people
That's
don't
very
find out
early,
they're pregnant
right.
Until 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe
I know
later.
people 5 months in was like, nigga, I was hooping and smoking. And I didn't know I was with child. And I can't speak to that, but damn.
It's soon. It's real
That's
soon.
pretty early, especially if you're fucking every day. Because you probably feel pregnant a lot.
No, you don't.
You don't?
You don't.
Okay, that was a
You
myth.
don't.
That was
You
a
don't.
myth.
That is a myth.
Mythbusters.
But what
On
I'm
this, that, and the
saying
third.
is most times when you think you got pregnant off of that one, you usually sit on it for a few weeks. You don't have no time to be sitting if you in Iowa. I'm just saying. So just
What would
know
make
what's
you
going
think you got pregnant off of that one? Can we explore? What does that statement mean? Like good sex? Or is it just like, no, I just have a feeling that one
No,
connected?
it's a combination of good sex
Man.
and that was it.
All my single ladies. Yeah, all my pregnant ladies. Damn. So why? Okay, this is my question. I'm from Iowa. Shorty's knocked up. cross the border, problem solved, no?
I mean, yeah, but
Okay,
it's
but who
just
wants to
something
do all that?
to be aware of.
Yeah, that's true.
That this is what they're doing because again, you don't hear it on the news, you don't know.
Yeah,
so.
they be sneak changing the rules on y'all.
Seriously.
And are you? I'm gonna say, are you pro-choice? What are the benefits to pro-choice? Do you
get
feel
to
like
decide if you want to take on another responsibility for the rest of your
for
life.
the rest of your life and theirs? So then,
Okay, so not only that, but then you get to decide if you want to be bothered.
Oh, with this nigga.
This dude.
Oh, this
for the
nigga.
rest of your life.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
y'all go
that's-
together forever.
Forever.
Forever,
So
ever.
that's, hey, let that person decide that.
Okay then, so other side of the coin, what are some advantages to possibly this rule being implemented? Like not having a choice and just say, man, you fuck, you suck,
you get
pregnant, you raise this baby.
You have all these wonderful blessings in the world.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Wonderful blessings, we're calling them. My babies are wonderful blessings,
are,
but I
they
just know
are.
that all mothers and fathers are not ready to be mothers and fathers, so it's not a wonderful experience.
Well, I was going to say all of them aren't wonderful blessings. And so
Oh, you're talking about the children.
I'm talking about the parents.
Oh, yeah, to the children.
So when they bring
Clear,
it in a
clear,
wonderful blessing,
clear.
it don't transform into that.
At all.
And so
At all.
it would be different if everybody in the world was at a certain level and we all were educated
This
and living
utopia
well
type of
and-
existence.
Yeah, then we
You
can
don't
all-
have that.
We can all have kids. We can all have quality kids.
Right.
But everybody's not donating quality humans to
Oh,
the world. So
no.
I'm just
Some people
saying.
are bequeathing bastards
just
on
saying.
purpose
I'm just
for
saying.
state funding. Okay. Anything else going on in Iowa you want to talk about?
Nah.
Okay. What's going on with LGBTQS? No. What's the acronym?
LBGTQ.
Q in schools these days.
So my girlfriend posted this, and actually I'm glad she posted it
Hey, girlfriend.
because and her caption was, "While y'all still focused on Kanye, this is what's being passed in Illinois."
We call that the sleight of hand.
Illinois Senate has voted 34-18 and approved requiring public schools to teach LGBTQ history.
Whoa. That just started.
What history?
What history do they have? Hysterectomy? Wait. This is my question. In what subject?
That
It's part of history class? Because
So-
I thought that there was like a doing away with history, or maybe it was just black history doesn't exist. Maybe that's why I felt like history didn't exist anymore. No?
So this, and here's the thing. It's just so funny that this came up at this moment
Oh,
because
man, timing is critical.
Democrat Senator Heather Steens
Stank ass.
says it's consistent with state law that already requires students to learn history of races or ethnicities like, it's her quote now, like blacks.
The blacks.
The blacks wasn't capitalized either.
Oh, the lower cases of B.
Asians, Hungarians, and French people.
Requires a study on the roles and contributions of LGBT people in the history of the state and the country. We've made a lot of changes based on a lot of input, which I appreciate, and it's incorporating it just in the areas like it does for many other, in the study of history, like it does for many other populations in the state.
The amendment, I think rightfully so, weaves this into an existing school law. It does not impose a new mandate in the school code. And finally, to the substance of the bill, I think that it ensures simply that the history that is taught is factual and accurate.
School Management Alliance has still remained no vote on this, or is an opponent on this, and they still believe that there's unnecessary mandates here and also curriculum control that is taken away. I don't understand the dynamics of the difference here, but I know they've still remained as an opponent. I just encourage the folks to take a serious look at this.
That's a weird subset to select. Yeah.
Really?
That's very weird.
First of all, we don't learn about Hungarians.
I'm still hungry.
So silly.
I haven't learned anything that's going to quench my hunger.
But the fact that one is a Democrat, didn't Kanye say all black people don't have to be Democrats? And maybe you shouldn't be, because this is the type of stuff that they pushing. Like, I'm not saying.
If it can be pro-choice when it comes to
Democrats-
pregnancy, we could be pro-choice when it comes to politics. Come on, people. Wake up.
So basically, California is the only state with an LGBTQ education law. So Illinois is trying to make its way in that.
This is my thing.
What's your thing?
why do we push our agendas and our insecurities maybe on to others? Like, man, you have to recognize me. You have to see me. That's like me being in power and being like, bro, everything that I went through, my struggle, that shit now needs to make the front page of history books because that's my story versus actual history. I think based on your ethnicity, they should say, man, when you fill out your Scantron saying I identify as this, that should determine what history class you have to go to. If you're black, you should have to study black history. And you should get a sprinkle of all the rest as like electives.
Yeah.
But you should be forced to know your history.
They don't want to, okay, so.
They don't want us to be great.
Thought. Right, because, let's go get into the Kanye talk and slavery and the whole mentality.
Pump your brakes on Kanye. We'll get to you in a minute, nigga.
They really don't want to educate black folks on who they are. Because if you
know your greatness, you'll be great.
You know, exactly. So.
Y'all started with slavery.
To go back to this, it's like, if you want to, so let's teach LGBT history, right? So let's go back to the Greeks and the Romans who were gay and sleeping with men and sleeping with, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that because you all don't. Nobody speaks on
it. They were like was it outwardly or was it still kind of secretive back then? I think it was. It was outward. That's what I thought.
It was secretive.
Oh, it was secretive. Okay, I was about to say I thought it was kind of just like.
Was it Troy, Brad Pitt? Yeah. Or was it Troy or was it Alexander the Great?
More than likely Alexander the Great. I don't remember no Gatum in Troy. Troy was a good movie.
Yeah, well, they both were good. But I think it was Alexander because that was with Colin.
He laid with men?
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin.
Come on now. So I just think this is too much and stop pushing your agenda on the minority babies.
Because that's the thing, like, if we really study it out and we really see like how impressionable the mind is at these developmental stages,
you're not giving them a choice.
You're not even giving them a chance to have a choice.
No.
So now you're forcing your choice, whatever it may be, which is usually predicated on your experience and whatever your truth is, you want that to be everybody's truth. Niggas that went to college be like, man, go to college.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah.
People that, whatever your story is, you try to force that as the story when there's so many stories. As many people as it is on earth, that's how many stories there are. And then the other part of it is like the trauma that you go through battling and fighting in a world that's not really accepting to the LGBTQ community at that time, even though it is more so now, you're taking that trauma and you're projecting that onto a young person who, if they was just cool with who they was and what the world ain't even checking for y'all right now.
Right.
Just be cool.
Yeah.
But you're influencing your previously experienced traumas on these young people who are just like a blank canvas and you're fucking them up. Stop.
Yeah.
And not just as it pertains to this topic. I'm talking about poverty. Yeah. I'm talking about anything that you've been through that's your truth. That doesn't have to be everybody's truth.
But it's almost like they're saying to the heterosexual world,
we're coming.
Your kids have the right to choose.
My children do not have the right to choose.
They're kids.
They're kids. They have the right to be kids.
And kids grow up, and I feel sometimes looking at the examples they see before them, right? It's not always the case that just because a boy is raised by his mom is going to be gay.
Nah, doesn't always happen. I was raised by my mom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
6 boys.
Let's let some of those stereotypes go and just allow the kids to grow up, and then maybe high school, right? Maybe senior year.
Around about that upper class. Yeah, upper class men and women.
All day long, you can teach it. All day long, have history class.
Because you at least can process what's been. Yeah, you've experienced things on your own. But yeah, I think we're forcing it on the kids, and it's an agenda. And that's the thing. What's your agenda? Which we'll talk about a little bit later. And I actually had I think I spoke about this before, interesting conversation about how there's a third gender being created. It's like not going to be male and female anymore. It's going to be more likely female and pronouns or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to everybody go by their pronouns. But at the end of the day, it just seems like the male species, the man, is being marginalized and kind of squeezed out. Babies? That's what I'm saying. But it's like, ain't nobody focused on that. People focus more so on population control versus making babies. They're like, we got enough babies. We want to control what the babies do once they get here. And it's tough. And I'm not a scientist. I'm not a biologist, none of that shit. But just stay tuned and stay woke is all I can say.
Keep your kids woke. How about that?
Keep your kids woke. I really love the fact that despite the fact that your child may spend more than their day away from you because they're in school, a little bit more than they're conscious at home, meaning like they're asleep for 8 hours when they're at the crib and they're at school for 8 hours. And then the other 8 hours, they're not necessarily with you under your tutelage, but there's a lot of transition going on in that time. You still have the greatest influence on your children.
You do. But you got to be there. You got to be
But
there.
you got to
gotta
do
be
something
around.
with it.
Yeah.
You cannot let these
You can't
devices
let them
raise your
watch
kids.
YouTube. Yeah.
You cannot
TV.
let
It's in the cartoon.
Go ahead, just go ahead and do what. As long as you're not breaking shit, as long as you're not bothering
Yeah,
me,
you can't do
and
that.
you're on your phone, they're on their phone.
Yeah.
Bro,
It's not gonna work.
you got to be involved. I could talk about that.
I'm
for
gonna leave
days.
it alone.
Let's
Yeah.
go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
So I didn't get to see it. I saw clips.
Okay.
I saw clips and bits of it. Now I did see the one when they did Obama.
Okay.
It was funny.
Now this is more of a what's the setup? Explain.
It's a roast. It's a very conservative dinner, right? They have the panel. You have everybody seated at the table.
Right.
Everybody's dressed to the T.
Right.
But it's a roast. It's a White House roast.
I'll
basically.
roast your ass.
And the guy did Obama. It was hilarious. It
Right.
was funny.
Right.
And this time, Michelle Wolf, Fox and Friends were not happy.
Of course, Trump isn't here. If you haven't noticed, he's not here. And I know I would drag him here myself, but it turns out the President of the United States is the one pussy you're not allowed to grab. He said it first. Yeah, he did. You remember? Good. You guys are going through cabinet members quicker than Starbucks throws out black people. No, don't worry. They're having an afternoon. That'll solve it. We just needed an afternoon. I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and you said the one with Obama, he took it well, and I'm
He
sure
did.
I'm sure it went there, not there, but
I think
it's comparative. If you don't give me much to work with, I'm
No,
still
and
gonna
I
roast
think
your
he
ass.
called
But
him a nigga, if I'm not mistaken. Like it went
That comes
there
with the territory,
because
though.
you're in a room full of white people. But it was still funny.
it
you know?
comes with the territory. It depends on how it's said and all these other things. But nigga, chuck that shit up, Trump and whoever else. Fox.
Sarah took it real
Fox,
funny.
you mean?
She sat there and was like,
So who hired this lady? Maybe
I don't know.
maybe that person should have to answer some questions.
That person
Y'all
should
didn't
be
screen her like
fired.
y'all screened Monique for Netflix, niggas? Huh? We're not screening anymore? We're not screening female white comedians?
Obviously, I had never heard of Michelle Wolf. Have you?
I still haven't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Moving right along.
Last but not least, so I didn't watch it. I watched pieces, but did you watch the NFL draft?
I was in D.C. living my best
that's
life.
right,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. No TV was watched.
So,
Shaquem?
Shaquem?
Shaquem.
Yeah.
Shaquem.
Shaquem Griffin. He's the 5th round, 4th pick.
Okay.
Did I say that right?
5th round, 4th pick.
Okay. Well, he got signed to the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. Congratulations, Seahawks. But what's so special about that? That's a low pick.
He doesn't have a left hand.
What do you mean?
He doesn't have a hand.
Is he left-handed?
I don't think so. I don't know. But he
He
doesn't
can't
have a
be.
left hand.
He doesn't. Where's his hand?
He doesn't have it. So,
He doesn't have it.
so I heard
What?
this story basically on the Steve Harvey show, and then I saw the draft, but I didn't sit and watch them talk to him.
Nobody's sitting and watching the draft.
But they basically said he's super fast. He's like 4.38.
Yeah, because when you run, you got to swing your shit, and if you don't have shit, I ran a 4.04. Come on, man.
He coming out of Central Florida, but the Seattle Seahawks coach said there's nothing that he can't do. That's why they picked him.
He can't write with his left hand.
Well,
he can't.
go left. He got drafted in the NFL with one hand, so anything's possible.
No, I joke a lot, but that is inspirational for people that have had setbacks, people that have maybe disabilities, whatever the case may be. So hats off to this brother, and salute to Seattle
For picking him.
giving him an opportunity. Because a lot of times people with disabilities, you look over them like, man, I'm not.
What am I gonna do with
Right,
that? I
I'm
don't
gonna
have
do it.
time.
People in wheelchair leagues are strong as fuck upstairs.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
they
saying?
are.
So you can use them for different things. Not use, but employ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice words.
Thank you. I think that about wraps us up for news.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.